column, E-L-M. So you have 2 words on this column now. As the letters keep on coming up, you are playing with your bingo card and place the right words on, okay, on this column. When you have 5 words made, and you would say bingo. Isn't that very similar to the numerical bingo game, right? And the number matching is very simple. The spelling words is not difficult. It's just a little bit more challenging. While you are playing, you have to think. You have to constantly think about words ahead, expecting letters coming up. So you make your brain work harder than just playing the number matching. So a Scramble Bingo game, if you play with a group, it not only has all the fun that regular number bingo game has, but really gives you that brain exercise. Okay? Let's just continue on, see whether we can do anything else. Another E, okay? The speed of drawing these cards out of a box and put it on, it's, again, arbitrary. It's like the bingo game in the bingo house. People have a sort of a monitor person who does draw the numbers out. Here, I just draw out as letters. Let's say another one, D. Okay? All right. I think I might do this better here. As we get more and more, can you see better in this fashion? Okay? EMLB. Now, by this time, 6 letters. Actually, you probably already can make several words. We are not, I'm not thinking, but as the audience, you probably already think, oh, the first word I made B, the second one elm. Okay? At this juncture, let me introduce a rule that we use in the bingo game. Okay? And that rule is this. Normally, each letter comes up, once you made a word, can be only used once. Okay? Now, when you made a B-E as a B, why you can make an elm, okay? Then you need another E. You have to have E-L-M because the second E. The first E already used in the B and E, right? When you make a second word elm, then it has to be E-L-M, it has to be second E. Okay? Now, the rule to be added here is when you make a word that contains the word you made previously, then the letters can be reused. You don't need the new letters. Let's say whether we have an example here. Let's say use the B-E. B-E with the D is bed. B already used. With D coming up, you say, oh, I make a bed. That, you don't need another E. Because B and E were previous word you made, now contained in the new word B-E-D, okay? Therefore, you don't have to get another B, another E. So, in this bingo column, let's say you put a B-E here, and then in this second spot, in the top, you can put B-E-D, and you put the third one as E-L-M. Now you only need 2 more words to make the 5 in a row. I hope that is clear to you, okay? So that's the only rule you have to remember, that is a word you made can be reused in a longer word. Again, if you play regular Scramble words game with us, you understand that principle. The whole process of scrambling is scramble the letters of shorter words and make longer words. Once you have shorter words already made, you can take it, scramble it, make a longer word as one of your elements. Okay? So we keep on going in this way. Let me continue on. A, M, R. Of course, in the real game, when the letters are put up, you really have to concentrate. You don't wait till 2, 3 letters come up and think. Every letter come up, you already start thinking new words. In fact, probably there are a lot of words already. I am talking, and sometimes when you talk, you cannot think at the same time. But as a game player in this game, when you have a card in front of you, you really should focus, as I said before, anticipate. When you have a B, you know B-E-D is a word, so therefore when D comes up, you will immediately recognize that, all right? And so forth. Now, with AMR, anything else? I'm sure there's a lot, okay? For example, the B-E-D, with A come up, you can say bead. Yeah, bead is a word. So now you say this is, you put here, say B-E-D, B-E, elm, and B-E-A-D, bead. That's already 4 letters, words, okay? And all we need is another one. Let's see whether you can do that or not. Easily say, oh, we can do D-R-E-A-M. Or, let's see, have to worry about what the letters are already used or not. If you have B-E-A-D, can we add an R, say bread? Sure. All right? Bread is another word you can make. Therefore, now you say bingo. The 5 words are bee, bed, bead, bread, and elm. Okay? Is that simple? Now, let me at this point show you what typical patterns that we play as bingo. This is a blank card here. Let's show you a card that shows one line, for example. We will play one straight line. Can we have a screen show one straight line? Okay, this screen shows horizontal line. Now, notice we don't have any vowels yet. And if you print these things, as I said before, there are 2 ways to play this. Either you print ahead of time, A, E, I, O, U, randomly placed on the diagonal and distribute these cards for people to play, or you just give the blank cards and say, choose whatever you want. You write down A, E, I, O, U in any sequence, any order in your card, and that will be your card. Because the chance of different letters coming up are unknown. You played that chance. If you put it the right way, perhaps help you faster to make a bingo, okay? So that's horizontal. Let's see a vertical. Horizontal, obviously, we have 5 ways to play, okay? Now, vertically, now you have vertical, right? Again, you have 5 ways to play, 5 vertical. Now, suppose, let's go back to the card that had A-E-I-O-U on. I will show you a little variation. When we were demonstrating, you made a B-E, B-E-D, and B-E-A-D, B-R-E-A-D, and elm, let's say that, bingo. We were talking about one vertical line, and that's governed or determined by E. Now, you can add a rule to make the game a little more complicated or more challenging. That is, when you put a word in this E box, okay, must contain E. But when you put a word in this box, you must have E and A, because horizontally is A row. You see that? So then when you say I put B-E-D there, it's no good because it doesn't have A. You must put B-E-A-D there, bead. Okay? That is acceptable because it horizontally has A, vertically has E. So there are 2 ways to play this. For a simpler game, let's not worry about the double vowels. Okay? But if you really want to challenge yourself, you can make that rule ahead of time. Let's play double vowels. That means whenever you move to a cell, you want to put a word there, must contain the 2 vowels, satisfy the horizontal and the vertical vowel. Okay? I hope that makes this clear. So in that case, all right, when we played B, E-A-D is acceptable, B-E is acceptable, then bed is not useful to us anymore. Because bed would have to fit in this box only. We already had the word B-E. So bed is not useful. We've got to think about some other word here. Let's say with an I. Now there's no I coming up, okay? And therefore we have to wait. All right, let me just take the cards randomly again and draw more letters here. And see, now without I, without O and U, IOU has to be in this column, right? If IOU doesn't come, you cannot call bingo. So you have to continue playing. So the second version is much harder and takes longer and more challenge to you to know the vocabulary that contains double vowel in the word, okay? Let's see. Until we get I said that's not planned. It happened to be. Now, I is here now. Oh, boy. Now you can see. There are a lot of words you can make. Let's say, oh, fire. That's close enough because you have two E's there. And let's see. Am I allowed to do that? You use the B-E and B-E-A-D are sharing the E. That's okay. You have two E's. Therefore, you can say fire. Okay? So fire can be placed here. Now, if you do fire, all right, can you do another word here with O and E? There's no O. There's no U. So we still have to wait. All right? Let's just keep on going. That's another E and D and we don't have the luck. H, E. So in this version, you have to keep on waiting until O and U comes along, right? All right, let me see whether I can cheat a little to show this because otherwise take forever to demonstrate this. But in a real game, you certainly have to wait the proper word comes out. Now, let's say you come out. What do you make as a word? Lots of words, okay? This is the time that people rush or race to win, okay? You. But this is still only 4 words yet. You can't call bingo. So everybody would think about a word. They may be different, okay? Some people may think about, let's say, think about a word involving U and letters that haven't been, let's say there's too many N's. Let's say N-U-N, none. Huh? That's a word. Certainly that can be put. But you've got to have an E. Sorry, I forgot. You must have E and U, right? This here, fire, it's okay because it has E and I. Now, this U here, we have to have E-U. Let's see what word we can say. How about menu? Huh? M-E-N-U. Let's put that word there. M-E-N-U. Menu, right? Everybody goes to restaurant, right? I know some audience here love to go to restaurant every day, right? Okay, so we got a menu there. Now we keep on going until we have, another letter comes up. Let me see whether I can keep on doing. No. Oh, wild. That solves the problem, right? In bingo cards, in the Scramble Bingo cards, they are wild. The wild is a card that can be any letter. Since we're waiting for O, that wild card comes up, you sure hear a lot of people will say, bingo, 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 because that O with E, okay, you can probably make a lot of words here, right? Let's think about words, okay? Let's say this is O. All right? We have used already 3 E's. Aha. So you have to reuse a E in order to make the fifth word. So I will say bone, say B-O-N-E. There's a lot of N's, right? So N is plenty. Let's say bone, B-O-N-E. Does that satisfy our rule as a 5-word in a vertical column? Okay, first one is bead, B-E-A-D. Horizontally has satisfied the A role because you have placed the A at the corner. Second one, B-E, satisfy that. Third word, F-I-R-E, fire, satisfy that. Okay, and R is there, F is there, right? Fourth one is, what is it? Bone, B-O-N-E. Of course, B-E is reused from the word B-E there. So that's satisfied. And the last one, menu. So if the person had played this way and claimed first, would be the winner. The winner of bingo. And that just a one vertical column. Okay? Now, the 5 words vertical column is fairly simple, right? This version is slightly more challenging than the previous one. We do not require double vowels, just say E column, okay? And that's even simpler. But this one, actually, you think about it, it's not that hard. It requires a little more letters, and which makes the game more fun anyway, particularly if you have a group of people, a whole classroom playing. If I pretend I'm a teacher, and there are 20 kids in the classroom, and I put this little card on the board, and I put letters up, and you start making words, okay? Now, that could be very interesting, and the kids will learn a lot of words in the process, and suddenly you can raise the bar, okay? In education, we want to raise the bar all the time. You have minimum 2-letter word. Maybe the teacher said, oh, next game we'll make minimum 3-letter word and 4-letter word. Now, I bet you, if you make a minimum 4-letter word, the game could be even challenging for the teacher, right? So, this is pretty much the fundamentals of how Scramble Bingo are played, okay? As you can see, the procedure, the rules, the cards, the things are pretty much familiar to you if you have heard or seen how the bingo game is played in numbers. But now with letters, it's more interesting. Much more learning involved in this game. Okay? Let's have a few patterns to show you how many different patterns can you play, at least, in a simple 5x5 game. We said before, horizontal line is 5 ways, right? First, second, third, fourth, fifth. Vertically, you can have 5. So that's already 10 different patterns to play. Why say 10 different patterns? Because people put A, E, I, O, U differently. You may put I here, but somebody else put U there, or O other place. Therefore, when the announcer says, next game, we play vertical in the center, to you, you're playing I. To him or her, you are playing U. To another person is E. Therefore, it makes the game, again, very interesting. You're not competing necessarily for the same letters against another person sometimes. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you don't. Okay? That makes the game sort of interesting. So that's 10 patterns. Now, what about cross? Okay? We can have a full cross, which is 5x5. Okay? Usually, I would draw in the middle. That's a perfect cross. It's like the medical sign, the cross. Okay? That's one pattern. That involves 9 elements. The vertical row, horizontal line, and vertical line is only 5 elements. So for 5 elements, you have 10 different patterns. For this cross, 9 elements, you have 1. Then you have these little smaller cross. Let's show a smaller cross. Smaller cross, it's fairly easy to sort of associate with a religious, symbol, a cross. Okay? That is 7 elements. And how many you have that? You can have 3, because this move over is another one. Move over is another one. So you have 3 patterns you can play in a cross. Okay? Again, we have 2 versions. The simple version, do not force you to make double vowels when you intersect 2 vowels. And a little more challenging game, you do have to use double vowels because you intersect 2 vowels. Okay? So that is a cross. Now, you can make a cross which is diagonally. Okay? Diagonally down. Okay? And this is challenging to me in screen technology. Okay? Diagonal is a cross, right? That cross is how many elements? Again, it's 9 elements. Okay? That one definitely is challenging because, again, if you want to impose the double vowel rule, it requires 9 elements except the center word, 2 vowels in the word. Okay. And you can make a pattern, say, little square. Okay? That's a 3 by 3, which is 8 elements square. Okay? That can be a pattern, and you can play that. And obviously, you can move the pattern around. Therefore, you have many, many patterns, up to maybe 15 different positions. Why these positions make it interesting is because the vowels that you assign to your card, okay, once you signed, if you don't have this variety of a pattern, the card becomes sort of exhausted. Once you play one, it won't change. But this way allow the announcer to pick out of the 15 little squares. So, oh, we played this corner. Now, this corner would be involving different vowels than the other corner for this particular card or that card. So, again, many people have different variety of way of playing it and make it more interesting. Okay? Now, that's a small square. Now, how about big square? We can have a big 5 by 5 square. Okay? That involves how many elements? It's 10 plus 3 and 3, 16. So 16. Not the full board. Yes, full board, if you want to see this, right now this is full board. Full board of 25 elements. That's the most complex one. Okay? Then you have to make words and fill it out, and that is called full bingo, and it certainly requires more. But just the outer rim, it's 16 elements. Okay? Now, any more? Sure. We can still do different patterns. Let's say, how about triangle? Can we put up a little triangle to show example? You can have a little triangle, okay, as 1, 2, 3 on a side, another 1, 2, 3 on another side, and the base. Okay? Can we show a triangle which is basically 8 elements also? Let me illustrate. Okay? Suppose this row is your base. This row is your base. Okay? Now, on top here, this is your top. And then you come down, this, you come down there. That's one side of the triangle. Okay? Now, if you go this down and down, there's another side. That's 8 elements. That's a triangle. And you can move the triangle down and down and down. Therefore, you have several triangles in the car also. So all in all, if you add up, I don't know for sure I got everything correctly, or at least roughly I would say 5, 5, 1, 3, 4, that's 15, 30, 34, 35. 35 patterns you can play. And that's a lot, okay? And simple version versus a little more complex version is almost like a double. There's 70 variations to play with. That's a lot. And that's the spirit of Scramble games. You want to make lots of variety, but not so complicated, easy to understand, easy to play, lots of fun, and you can keep on learning and learning and learning. Of course, we only talked about the words here in bingo, okay? And the point system is not used. We could, think about adding points, do the math, and so on. So I hope with the screen technology today, you can understand what we are talking about easier. And I welcome you, of course, come to the studio to play with us. We have this game every Friday from 4 to 7. And you simply send me an email or call me, okay? Our website is at www.scramble.com, .us. Scramble is double M. Or you can call me at 248-6770 in the 914 area. Now, if you want to bring your friend or the whole class, you just simply have to inform me ahead of time. We'll try to accommodate, okay? We don't have a large studio, but we can accommodate quite a number of people, okay, to play an interesting game. And this really is what we hoping for. More people interested, more people willing to come to play, okay? Now, our time is almost running up, and I hope you enjoyed this hour. We had a guest, Mr. Nicholson from the town, Councilman, and sort of tell us a little bit about how the town works, and I hope that's informative for some children. And don't forget, the election year, everybody is running for office and so forth, and don't forget to exercise your right to vote. And see you next time.